Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Estate Planning Weekly. I am your host, Don Rolfe. I'm the owner and founder of Northwest Legal Planning, an estate planning and probate law firm located in Portland, Oregon. And this week we're talking about how to incorporate your retirement accounts into your estate plan. This question comes up the most from people who have trusts that I've drafted or that have them come in to see me. And generally what they want to know is how do they fund their trust with their retirement plan. So quick little primer on funding. Funding is basically just transferring assets from your name solely into the name of your trust so that they can be managed by you as trustee and in the future by your successor trustees. And we do that with almost every asset that you own, except for the big one that we do not do that for are retirement accounts. So number one rule is if you have a trust, I'm going to say this is a rule, but obviously if you get specific advice from a person that you trust and they tell you to do otherwise, then well, maybe seek a second opinion. But the rule is that you do not change the title or ownership of your retirement accounts. Most retirement accounts are, tax benefited accounts, deferred taxes, or in the case of something like a Roth IRA, no taxes on them. So, our retirement accounts grow tax-free, no taxes on that income, and we start paying the taxes when we withdraw. And wouldn't you know it, that changing the name or ownership of your retirement account is considered a withdrawal. It's a taxable event, and you got $250,000 sitting in an IRA, and you change the name on the account, and all of a sudden that $250,000 becomes taxable. So, number one rule: we're not going to change the names on our retirement accounts. So whether you have if you have a trust-based plan and you're doing the funding on your own, just don't do that unless you have some ironclad advice, written advice letter that says that you should do that. And if you have a will-based plan, obviously you're not worried about funding, so you're not worried about changing the title on any accounts. But how do you incorporate the benefits from your retirement accounts into your estate plan? And really that's all done with beneficiary designation. So if you have a spouse, generally you're going to want to name that spouse as the primary beneficiary of your retirement accounts. Retirement accounts, not only do they have that tax benefit, but there's also a benefit in that they're exempt from retirement accounts. Monies in retirement accounts are exempt from judgment collections, creditors, bankruptcy, those sorts of things. And once an account becomes inherited, unless you're living in, I believe it's one of 8 states in the United States, if you inherit a retirement account and you're not a spouse of the person who originally owned it, you lose that protection, you lose that exempt asset status. So, however, if you're a spouse and you inherit, you maintain that status. So generally, you're going to want to name your spouse first. Now, for contingent beneficiaries, it's generally my rule that you're going to want to split, if you have more than one beneficiary, you're going to want to split the account at the plan level. So if you have 2 children, you're going to want to leave 50% to one and 50% to the other. Now, how you leave it to them is another choice. Because they're not going to have that exempt asset protection as an inherited retirement account, there are ways to add back in some of that asset protection. And we can do that either through a trust that's set up under your trust, which offers some protection, or we can actually set up a separate standalone retirement plan trust that will add protection for your beneficiaries in case they get in trouble with bankruptcy, creditors, exes. What do we say? We say creditors, predators, and exes, and add that protection for them. So if you have retirement accounts and you want to know specifically how you should be incorporating them into your estate plan, I would be happy to speak with you. Feel free to reach out to me. You can go to my website at nwlplanning.com, schedule a half-hour estate planning strategy session, and I'd be happy to answer those questions for you. I'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye.